And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, the Conquest and Droids. And I think I gave a shout out to you guys in the other video talking about LSB's car in the top right hand corner. If you didn't catch that, 6 new lightspeed bundles and some funny upcharges, you know, inflation, tariffs, all that stuff, hidden galaxies. But a special shout out to all of you folks who can't remember no Ataten to today's video, where we have our kit reveal-ish type of video for the next Conquest unit, SM-33. He looks like a small baby in this game. I was expecting to be a little bit taller, but I digress. We have our next Conquest unit, and this wasn't really on people's radars. Wasn't on my prediction list. I had a feeling it was gonna be a bit of a wild card until we get into that Force Awakens era later on this year, which is my guesstimation, not confirmed, but come over. Let's talk about this next Conquest unit we have for Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. Now, at the time of this video, we do not have the official kit reveal on the official forums, but we have a couple things in game that we can run with for now. As you can see, we have a pirate's life for SM-33. So let's read this first. Close we can get to really our kit reveal until it actually happens, and we'll probably get some additional information later on. But next Conquest unit, SM-33 is hobbling his way to the holo tables. I'm a little embarrassed. I saw the skeleton crew, right? It was all right. It was fun. I don't think it was like something I'm like, oh my God, I love Star Wars. I got to tell everyone about this. I had fun. It was a good time. SM-33 for me was definitely the highlight. But I was like, oh shoot, what was the show called? And I had to look up Goonies Star Wars to remember the name. Didn't hate the show, but it just wasn't memorable. The only thing I remember is can't remember no odds, and that's the only line I think I remember from the show. Anyways, I had a good time though. From the Disney Plus series, Skeleton Crew is a first-mate droid with a scrappy attitude and a fierce loyalty to his captain. Built for battle, this mechanical warrior is ready to take on any foe that threatens his crew. And now we get a brand new pirate faction tag. And as it says, this brand new faction will expand upon in the months. I need to do another reset. This brand new faction will be expanded upon in the next era. More news on this plundering new faction in the coming months. So keep that in mind. We're kind of, I think we're gonna maybe experience like a little Jocasta Nu, where with Jocasta Nu, she came out before the rest of the team, and even though she's cool, you gotta wait a few more months to get the right team to get in there. And this is kind of what they're alluding to. Now, in here, they're not really saying what the next characters are gonna be. Maybe on the forums they'll talk about. The rest is just talking about the kit. So why don't we go talk about the kit here and see what we got? You know, taking a look at it, didn't really get like super like Conquest power vibes, but again, I think we need to wait for the rest of the team to show up here. But I think there's gonna be a couple of compounding factors. We're gonna have to wait and see how serious people are gonna be about this character. Here's the pirate faction. Currently it has, Gary, they can't see under my ugly head, Sana, Hondo, Nest, and SM-33 with more expansion in the future. Man, Hondo, Nest, they're getting a lot of great tag love, man. Pirate, mercenary, scoundrel, smugglers, fun stuff that they have, but a few problems. Number one, I don't know if how many people really, I think Skeleton Crew kind of lacked like mainstream audience appeal. Not a lot of people knew about it, I think, except of course, the core Star Wars fans like us, right? Other than that, I'm not too sure if people are gonna be like super enthusiastic about this character. I listen, I don't care where you're from. I'm always excited for new Star Wars characters. I think the other thing is, which we haven't seen in a long time, we have ourselves Territory War Omicrons. Generally, if I could probably do a quick mental statistic, I think there's a correlation with Grand Arena Conquest characters being more loved, more acquired, more desired than Territory War Conquest characters. So, you know, again, Territory is still an important game mode, but it's in much need of love and renovating updating. Even a lot of top guilds, they just refuse to play it sometimes, which goes to say something. It's just, it hasn't really been, haven't been, gosh, so many resets. Always got to do a Scatman reset when I keep stumbling over my own words here. Again, my brain works a mile an hour, my mouth works 29 trillion miles an hour. Anyways, Territory Omicrons, a character from a show that wasn't like super mainstream, so you might not have love for him. I wonder what that's going to look like. It's going to depend on how difficult the feats are. I think that's going to be the solidifying deal here with all this. But who knows with the next upcoming characters and whatnot, you might be more enthusiastic about it. I don't know if they're going to go with all the kids. And like Jod, I think was the bad Jedi dude, the Jedi scoundrel pirate guy. Anyways, let's get down to work. We have the rattling uppercut. Let's get down to work here. Deal physical damage to target enemies. Stagger them for 2 turns. If the ally leader is a pirate, we don't really have a pirate leader aside from Sana Saros, basically, right now. The target enemy can't gain bonus protection for 3 turns, and SM-33 gains defense penetration up for 2 turns. Now he's going to be an attacker, so I'm assuming he's going to do some damage, but you know, know, let's just keep going. Although, side note, Dark Side Scoundrel, you know, you might be able to do some fun stuff with Dr. Afra potential. We got to read the rest of the kit. You know how Siege is. They always like to over-condition all these characters, so they only work in one lineup. But let's keep reading. Deal physical damage to target enemy 6 times. Wow. You like Dark Trooper? Dark Trooper only hits 4 times. How about 6 times? Having 1,000% health steal. Overkill? I don't know. And then deals 20% more damage for each 20% health SM-33 is missing. So if I understand this correctly, let's say he was missing 99% health. So he's going to do 20% extra damage. So it's 20% more damage for each 20% health he was missing. So let's just say times, you know, let's just say 5. So he can potentially hit up to 100% more. You know, maybe not fully, because if you're 100%, you're basically dead, right? So as close as you can get to that. If I'm understanding how that math works out, if this ability targets the first active enemy that damaged the allied pirate in the leader slot, excluding SM-33, SM-33 deals 50% more damage and gains tenacity up for 2 turns. I don't know, for some reason. Again, I know it wasn't the most popular show, yada, yada, yada. Why is it I have this feeling that this guy is going to hit so hard, people are going to be like, dang, I don't even care about the show. I want a guy that can hit hard. I mean, look, Jocasta Nu's been landing crazy hits lately. She doesn't even have the right team. We looked at this guy's Clone Trooper kit yesterday. His pass ability basically is an insta-kill to like Jedi Unaligned Force User team. They might not be holding back. This could be an insane ability. Just with all these things compounding, we have more we got to read. This could hit hard. And then that 2-letter acronym a lot of you guys get repulsed by. Territory Wars. While in Territories, if this attack defeats an enemy, they can't be revived. All right, so that's nice. If you're gonna put all this damage into someone, you kind of want them dead. For each instance of damage done from this ability while SM-33 has 100% health, he gains 20% bonus protection for 2 turns. Okay, cool, a little bit of durability on the guy. And if this ability targets the first active enemy that damaged the allied pirate in the leader slot, excluding himself, reduce their max protection by 50%. Wowza, okay. Excluding Raid Boss and Galactic Legends for the rest of the encounter, which can't be resisted, and reduce the cooldown of this ability by 1. Wouldn't this be fun if he's gonna be the counter to Jocasta Nu, because Jocasta is all about having crazy max protection, current protection, big protection gains, right? That'd be funny if this somehow ends up in there. So, all right. Again, seems cool stuff, right? I'm not like jumping for joy like Darkseid Vision Ray, you know, Bane or anything like that, but here, the forearm bucklers, cooldown of 3, pretty lowish cooldowns. We have a cooldown of 3 on this one. We got a cooldown of 3 on this one. So nothing like crazy on the cooldowns. Dispel all buffs and deal physical damage to target enemy and inflict buff immunity and burning on the target enemy for 2 turns. And then he recovers 50% health and protection. Gains defense up and then he gets 3 stacks of heat, going up to a stacks of 40 until the end of the encounter, which can't be copied, dispelled, prevented, and then it gains 25% bonus protection. But with heat now, we're gonna get some additional effects. Lock in for a second with me, will ya? 5 stacks of heat. Inflict 5 stacks of damage over time on target enemy for 1 turn, and inflict burning on the target enemy. A lot of this stuff isn't gonna really make sense until we get the full team. I'm guessing Jod, maybe some of the kids, I don't know. And then 10 stacks of heat. SM-33's damage over time can't be avoided, but it can be resisted. Remember, there's always 2 checks. Did you hit it, and can you land it? Land the debuff, right? Then Territory Wars. SM-33, man, Territories. When was the last Territory Conquest unit we had? You know, we had what, Dark Vision Ray, that was Grand Arena though. We had Jocasta Nu, that's Grand Arena. We had Ezra, that's Grand Arena. Queen Amidala, that's Grand Arena. Luthen, that's Grand Arena. Bane, that's Grand Arena. Has it been like a year and a half since we had a Territory War? It was Dark Trooper Moff Gideon? No. Was he the last Territory War character? That's wild. That's wild. I think that also shows they know that Grand Arena characters are just probably more interesting, and that means more people want to buy Conquest passes, to spend energy, crystals, all that good stuff. Anyways, I digress. Just I had to ask myself when the last Territory Conquest unit was. SM-33 dispels all debuffs on himself, and it said gains critical avoidance up and defense up for 3 turns, which can't be dispelled. Then all pirate allies gain 25% bonus protection. And if this utility targets, dude, Gary, what's with the tactical scanners? If this ability, not utility, targets the first active enemy that damages the allied pirate in the leader slot, excluding SM-33, he's gonna get 10 stacks of heat, up to 40 potentially, until the end of the encounter, which can't be copied, dispelled, or prevented, and inflicts healing immunity for 2 turns on the target, which can't be dispelled or resisted. 20 stacks of heat, instead inflict 20 stacks of damage over time. That's a lot. That's a lot of damage over time. Yeah. How about 40 stacks of damage over time? This is the biggest damage over time spam you could possibly get in like one blow, well, you got to build up to the heat, right? You got to have the heat to lay down the heat. 40 stacks of damage over time. Wow. Yeah, and this cannot be dispelled or resisted. That is basically solidifying someone's death. That basically, right? You're just gonna just tear them a new one, rip off their arm, whatever you want to call it, pile on this damage over time, and they can't get rid of it, so it's not like you can cleanse it. That's the interesting part about this kit that has me curious. Again, my curiosity has been piqued. I need to see more for the rest of the team, but this is a good spot. And one unique ability here. Usually you get like a leader unique ability. Pretty simple Conquest kit that we have here in terms of just number of abilities we have at our disposal. SM-33 gains 10% max health and offense for each scoundrel ally, double if they're also a pirate. The pirate's life for him. At the start of each encounter, SM-33 gains defense up for 2 turns, which can't be dispelled or prevented. Then whenever an enemy targets the allied pirate in the leader slot, he's gonna get 15% turn or 10% critical damage. It makes sense, right? He's just looking out for his captain here, right? If you're hitting the captain, he's just gonna get more Terminator, all these other things. 10% critical damage stacking. There's not even a cap on it for 1 turn. Oh, right. Compound that with the other stuff. You can see where there's good damage potential. While SM-33 has defense up, he can't be instantly defeated. You're wondering why there was defense up. Defense up by itself, I want to say it's 100% useless. It's pretty useless though, unless you have additive effects like the Bad Batch does. Here, defense up being immune to instant defeat, alrighty. And it receives 30% less damage when targeted by an enemy. Nice. And then after using 4-arm bucklers, SM-33 gains 2 stacks of heat, maximum of 40 at the start of his turn, and when receiving damage for the rest of the encounter or until defeated, which can't be cut, dispelled, or prevented. The first time SM-33 is damaged in battle, he gains a bonus turn, and the cooldown of 4-arm bucklers is reset. So if you can somehow get out there, use this ability really quickly, and then you get to reset the cooldown right away. Nice, right? Okay. While in territory wars, at the start of the encounter, if the allied leader is a scoundrel, excluding SM-33, so not even a pirate, just a scoundrel. So, okay, maybe you could do something with Afra. They gain 10% max health and offense and 10 speed, doubled if they're also a pirate. It's not the full benefit. Afra's not a pirate. The first active enemy that damaged the pirate in the leader slot, excluding SM-33. They're putting a lot of excluding SM-33s in here. Deal 30% less damage and has minus 50% potency to all allies aside from SM-33. And SM-33 and the allied pirate in the leader slot can ignore taunt effects to target them. Whenever the allied pirate in the leader slot attacks, SM-33 is called to assist. So keep using that basic over and over again, which is, it's a fun little basic, right? You know, being able to get that in the leader slot, the 100% turn meter removal, the inflictability block, the days on him as well. Did I only read the level 1? No, yeah, I was hoping I didn't read the level. Did I even read the basic here? I don't remember. Yeah, we get bonus protection. Yeah. Okay, I think we went over this here. So again, it seems like a fun kit. The incredible amounts of damage over time. The hypothetical stacking of all the damage. It sounds like he should be a good attacker. But it's very clear, as we were told, it seems like that's what's on the agenda for the summer. More details to come soon. In regards to the pirate faction, you know, let me know what you guys think. Again, I think the past, bit of Conquest units have been stellar, exciting, wild, interesting. He's got a tough act to follow. We've had a long strand of absolutely solid banger Conquest units, so he's got a tall order to fill. I think it's going to make a lot more sense once we get the rest of the Conquest units all coming into the game. And it's funny, a bonus thing, when I was looking up SM-33 for some pictures, I was like, are they talking about this? Or are they talking about this here, this adult formula liquid, a pain relieving treatment for transient mouth ulcers and inflamed gums? So it could be about this. I don't know. I don't think it's about this character. It's a very good chance they're bringing this to Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes for all the pain that you guys are gonna be feeling on your wallets for those Lightspeed bundles. Again, if you haven't seen it, there's a card in the top right hand corner to the other video earlier today. 6 Lightspeed bundles, some interesting ones, and some increase in prices. So get it while they're cheaper. I don't know. Anyways, leave a like, comment down below, subscribe so you're not missing a thing, and get ready because there's more to come. And when there's that, well, that's very simple. It's great to be in the Empire today.